Okay. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see all these faces slash black boxes of people who are not awake yet, right? I wish I could do that right now. So I posted in the Rising Stars group what your opinions were, what you wanted me to chat on. Somebody said my onboarding process. I have to tell you a little funny story about this. I have a friend who is on a completely different team. She's a 6-star diamond, just like myself. Actually, I should probably introduce myself. I'm Kaylee Hennessy. I am a 6-star diamond elite coach, one of Melanie's personally sponsored. And I have 2 small kids, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. Right now, my husband is actually downstairs with them. He has a later day today, so I'm like, you can't go in until 10. But I was talking to my girlfriend from a completely different team, and I told her that I posted this comment in the Rising Stars, and somebody I don't remember who it was, but somebody commented they wanted to know about my onboarding skills or my onboarding process. And I go, what's onboarding? And I said that to Mel this past weekend when I was at the wedding. She's like, really, Kaylee? I'm like, I don't use those terms. For me, I thought it was, how do I get coaches on my team? And she's like, no, that's like your getting started right process. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to prepare a little something for you guys for my getting started right process. But and then somebody else wanted to know posts and stuff like that have worked for gaining coaches. So a little background about me and how I started my business. I came into this for the business. Melanie, when I first signed up, put me in a challenge group. I never completed it. I've never completed a challenge group. I'm just not a group person. But I did come into this for the business because my family needed the money. My husband and I were talking about bankruptcy before I started this. I signed on for the $40. I bought Insanity off of Craigslist. I did not drink Shakeology for the first 2 months of my business, but I sold it. But I knew that I had to figure out how to make money in this business faster than somebody else, because my family needed it. So that's what my goal was. And from there, I kind of started attracting coaches who have never gone through a challenge group, because what do? But you attract people who are like you. And most of my working coaches who are Star Diamonds have come into this for the business. And I believe that most of the people on my downline who are diamonds have also come into this for the business. They may have completed a challenge group after they signed up as a coach, but I do believe that they have come in strictly not knowing much about Beachbody, but knowing that they wanted to work the business. So for me, as far as we'll start with the posting. As far as my posts don't technically generate leads per se on the post. So if I did a post about a business opportunity call or a 5-day sneak peek or stuff like that, I don't get people commenting saying, I want in, unless I pay money on my like page and possibly get a few emails of people who want to know more. But for me, constantly telling about where I came from and where I am now and what Beachbody has done for me generates a lot more people reaching out to me. So not necessarily they don't post on my actual posts, but I do get messages, or I do when I start my inviting, they will, they'll say, hey, I've been watching you, or, how was your vacation? Because they've seen me. So funny, I just went away for Summit, which how many of you were at Summit? Okay, so we were just away. So the week before Summit, I actually had to drive 6 hours to Virginia because my brother-in-law's father passed away. And I had all of these goals set before I went to Summit. I didn't reach any of them because I had to drop everything and go to Virginia for 4 days to, attend that viewing and stuff like that. So I had to drive 6 hours. I came home on, I think it was Friday morning. I drove 6 hours back home, and then I had to unpack and repack everything for Summit because I was leaving Monday afternoon to drive 6 hours back to Virginia, and then another 10 hours on Tuesday morning to Nashville. So that was 2 6-hour drives, in 2 weeks. And then when I got back on Sunday from Summit, I had a week here to prep everything and get my kids situated, and we had to leave for another 6-hour drive to Pittsburgh for the weekend. So I started documenting this and how thankful I was, because if it wasn't for Beachbody, I would not be able to leave that often. My husband wouldn't be able to take off that often. He wouldn't be able to work short hours because, we don't want to pay the babysitter that much during the week of Nashville. So I just started talking about these little things that Beachbody has done for me. Now, I'm not saying that, you have to have this huge story with Beachbody and, oh my gosh, I paid off all my credit card debt, or I've paid off all my debt, or whatever it is. You don't have to have that. As long as it's something that Beachbody's done for you or your family, or going to create for you to do, is all you need to talk about. It doesn't have to happen yet. You just have to see that bigger picture and post about it. One of the bigger pictures that I saw was, I'm going to retire my husband in 2 years. And that's what I said when I first started. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know if it was going to happen, but I talked about it a lot. And if we did not live in New Jersey, he would be retired. But it's so expensive here. So those are the things that you can talk about, because people are going to relate to it. And for me, I talk more about the business opportunity. I lead more with the business opportunity than I do with anything else in this business. I do believe in challenge groups. I do run them every month. And for the month of August, we're actually running one every single Monday. But I do lead with the coaching opportunity. Most of my successful points are from coaches. So that's kind of, as far as posting wise, what works for me. I don't have a whole bunch of people just posting on something unless I let it run as an ad for a long extended period of time. But I do connect. I try to make it so that I'm talking to one specific person who is like me, a stay-at-home mom, sinking in debt, wants to be able to help the family financially, but doesn't make sense to go back to work. It didn't make sense for me to go back to work making $14,000 a year as a secretary when my paycheck each week would be paying for daycare. So I talk about that because a lot of people struggle with that. And that is where I gain the traction of people saying, okay, tell me about this. What are you doing? So that's kind of that. Let me see, because I saw people post up on the chat about that. Paula asked, so she said, I'd love to learn from you how you present the business opportunity to a friend face-to-face. I don't think I've actually done that, but I don't have, so something you should know about me. If you were at the Dream Team Live training, or the Recipes for Success training that Mel did at Summit, I kind of touched on it a little bit, but I used to have this big, big, big fear of inviting for challenge groups. I'm the type of person that doesn't want to offend anyone, so I didn't want to message someone about a challenge group and then them think that I'm calling them fat. Okay, that was like my biggest fear. So that was one of the reasons why I always led with the business opportunity, because if they start a business, they're going to get healthy and fit, because that's what we do. So I never had a fear of talking about the business, and I think that comes from the way that I started my business. I started it for the business, so I did a whole bunch of research, 3-inch, 3-ring binder packed to the brim. I still have it in my armoire, of information that I printed off from the back office, Coach Training Academy, and I went through it and I researched on the best ways and the fastest ways and the number one ways to build my business quickly. And in there, obviously, building my business quickly was getting to Diamond. It was creating that volume on your legs to have that residual income rather than the income from your sales. So I kind of finagled my business in the way that, yes, I sacrificed a lot in the beginning, because I sacrificed that $30 a month from Shakeology, even though my family could have used it. But I knew that I would have rathered $2,000 a week without me having to work, where I could take off for Summit, still make the same amount of money, rather than $800 a week from me working my tail off for sales. So that was my mindset when I first started this business. I wanted to have the freedom that my family never had before. So that was not me tied to a computer, but that was the team that I'm building working for me. So that's that. So as far as talking to a friend about it, I literally would just come out and talk about it because that's just me. I like to offer it to everyone. Something that has worked for me in the past, and I still don't understand it to this day, is if I'm talking to a challenger about a challenge group and they tell me they can't afford the challenge pack, I will then talk to them about the business opportunity. Well, it sounds like you need money. I don't say that, but that's what goes through my head, So I say, well, how about, would you like to earn money while you get healthy and fit? And for some reason, they find that $140 to sign up as a coach. Because most people don't know about the business opportunity. They don't know that Beachbody, has the coaching opportunity for them. They think that this is something that Beachbody has literally hired each one of us. They don't know. So if we lead with that and offer people the healthy and fulfilling life as far as financial, then it's more so just having that confidence in talking about it and understanding how to present it to people. I always, pretty much in every single conversation, put in Beachbody's mission statement, whoever I'm talking to, whether it is a potential challenger or a coach. I talk about I say something along the lines of, Beachbody's core purpose is to help people live a healthy and fulfilling life. That's what I say. And then I go into saying, it doesn't matter what that healthy and fulfilling life looks like. It could be a challenger wanting to lose 100 pounds, or it could be a coach wanting to be able to stay home with her kids. I give them a couple examples because if it's a potential coach, after I give them a couple examples, it's helping them see the bigger picture. That is our job as a coach, is to help our coaches paint that huge picture that is going to have them so fearful of quitting, which is something I talked about at the Recipe for Success training, that they won't want to quit. Okay, but some and most coaches need that picture painted because they're not dreaming big enough. So it's our job to pretty much dream big for them, put ideas in their head, and then get back to them after they've thought about it. So talking to somebody face to face, I would literally just tell them what the opportunity has done for me. Paula, you could talk about how you've been able to move to Florida and how it's changed your life. And, you have an awesome, weight loss success story. So just right there, talk about, how that's helped you and how it's helped inspire many other people. When talking to a potential coach, I always ask them, do you have the passion to inspire? Because some people don't, and you need to get to the point in your business where it's okay to turn down a coach or a prospect because they don't match what you need. Because if somebody doesn't like to inspire, you're not going to be able to turn them into that. So, one of the beauties about this business is that you get to work with who you want to work with. And if they're not matching your team and they're not matching your goals, then, you can say, hey, I don't think this is for you. I think I tell people, because I have people come to me all the time and say, oh, I'm thinking about this versus, selling makeup. And I'm like, well, that's totally fine. You need to do what you are most passionate about because that's where you're going to be successful. If you have somebody that comes to you and says, I love makeup, but I see that you're making, $10,000 a month, you're going to tell them, I'm passionate about health and fitness. I'm passionate about inspiring other people. If you are passionate about makeup, you're going to be making $10,000 selling makeup too. Because if they're not passionate in this business, they're not going to make it. The discouragement that this business brings, every other month or month to month or on a bad month, whatever it is, it's going to cause them to drop out and fail. So you have to make sure that your team and your coaches are passionate about what they're doing. There's more here. Hold on. I don't know if that helped, Paula, but you can message me later. Somebody said, so did you pay the coach fee rather than purchase challenge pack when you started? Yes. I had $150 in my bank account. I could not pay for a challenge pack. So I was one of those people who signed up for $40 back when Melanie was a 2-star. And I became active from selling Shakeology and challenge packs. because I did not drink Shakeology for my first 2 months. I couldn't afford it. But so I signed on March 10th, 2013, and my first, that 21 days, I made $217, I think it was. So I became active from sales because I knew that was one way to be active. Okay. So don't disregard those people who sign up at $40. Yes, I always push the challenge pack as well. Sorry, that continues. Says I always push the challenge pack, waived fee, and forget about the option, just pay $39. So, I find that I'm the type of person that's far and few between coaches that you sign up. You can have people sign up for the $40 and they have 30 days to go in and purchase their first challenge pack, okay? Which then they will get that $40 refunded. But a lot of the coaches that I've had do that have never gone active, okay? Because they don't see the value in what they're doing because they have not, they've not invested in themselves at that point. So like I said, I am one of the far and few between. If you get a coach like that, awesome. I do have some people sign up for the $40 and, but that's just because I'm trying to help them, with their goals. Sometimes I think I may have had one person out of maybe 6 that I've had sign up with $40 actually go active. So I do push the challenge pack, just because it's an investment in themselves. And if they spend their hard-earned money in it, most likely they're going to try to at least earn that back, so they're not putting any money out. And then, yes, Emily, that is why I said third trip in 3 weeks. Right now, my favorite social media is my like page. I have been growing followers on Instagram, but I find that it's getting a lot harder to gain people's trust through it because they're only seeing pictures. They're not seeing, they're not seeing your life. They can't, they could go see your picture that you post about your life, but if they're really going to take the time to go to your account and view your life as pictures, they really don't have that connection with me. So it doesn't work for me. It works for some of my coaches. My like page is what works for me. That's where I get everybody from, honestly, if I'm going to be honest with you. And that's a whole nother call in itself. But as far as my like page, I used to do the little search bar for new contacts in Facebook. That didn't work for me. I would add 5 people a day and nobody would friend me back. So I stopped doing that and I went to my like page. And this is really for somebody who's really developed their like page. I have about 5,400 likes on my like page. So every day I go in and add 5 people as a friend from my like page. And I've only found a way to do it from your app on your phone. But I scroll through all my likes and I pinpoint the ones that I think I'm attracted to visually. Because that's how we roll. But I would say 4 out of the 5 people that I add me back. And as soon as they add me back, I start a conversation with them. I say, hey, thanks so much for the ad. How are you? And we start a conversation. Most of them, I think I've only had one person ask me who I am. And I'm like, oh, I'm the admin of Devoted to Health. You just like my page. I like to personally thank everyone for liking my page. And that's like that whole personal aspect. They see that I've got 5,500 likes on my page, but yet I'm taking the time to pinpoint that person and thank them. And they're like, oh, thank you. And then I'm like, I hope you find it inspirational and motivational. Do you like to work out or do you follow it for the biblical part of it? Because mine's 2-part, it's fitness and biblical based. So I start a conversation with them. If they say that they work out, I say, oh, what kind of workouts do you do? And we just get a conversation going. I don't ever mention anything about Beachbody unless they ask me what I do. And right then and there, I will tell them I don't beat around a bush. I am a coach. And we start that conversation. Those people that I'm having a conversation with go on a list because now they're now my potentials. The new contacts that add me back that don't say anything, well, all of my new contacts that add me back go on a new contact list, but the people who I have started a conversation with go on my prospect list. Okay. So yes, my like page is my favorite right now. What made me want to invest in Shakeology after 2 months? Well, I always tell my coaches that you can't sell a product that you're not on. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard, I think it was Tara Carr. It was my first summit. She said it. The I don't know, but all I know is statement. And that's the statement that I had to keep using because I wasn't drinking Shakeology. So I knew I needed to, have my own experience with Shakeology so I could tell people about it. But then again, I did have success selling it for the 2 months that I didn't drink it because my confidence in it was so high up. I did a lot of research on it. I knew what I was talking about. But at that time, I could not afford it. So I needed my income from Beachbody to pay for my Shakeology. So like I said, those were some of the small sacrifices. My family could have used that income, that $100 after that 2 months of not drinking it. But I sacrificed. We continued to live the way that we were living until my business took off to where I could then not even worry about that $100. So that's kind of what I did as far as and why I did it. So I knew that I had to, and I always tell my coaches, some coaches come into this saying, do I have to drink Shakeology? I'm not a shake person. And I'm like, well, it's really hard to sell something that you're not on. The workouts are a little bit easier. We do have some gym goers here, but as long as you post that, hey, I'm not going to the gym today, so I'm doing this, you're still sharing what you're doing. But Shakeology is extremely hard, to convince somebody alone to drink Shakeology. But if you're not drinking it and seeing the effects yourself, it's going to be harder to convince them. Okay. So the people that you invite to your like page, how do you find them? Are they friends? Okay, so I don't invite anyone to like my like page. So I stopped inviting coaches to like my like page a long time ago because if you boost a post and you do people who have liked my page and their friends, you're advertising to other coaches' friends on their news feeds, okay? Same thing with coaches liking your like page. They're doing the same thing. So I don't do that. I actually started really tweaking and having my like page take off at the end of December of last year. And I have had an ad running for likes since December 28th. And it's gone from less than 1,000 likes to over 5,000 likes since December 28th. And these are real generic likes because I've done my research. And like I said, this is a whole nother call. But those people I'm getting traction from. And every day, like I said, I'm adding 5 of those people as friends. So I'm going into my Pages app on my phone, clicking the likes, and I can see the whole list of 5,000 some people, and I go and I add the ones that you can add as friends, 5 a day. So that's what I do as far as, inviting for likes. I do not do that. I have the ad going, and it's literally $2 a day has gotten me. So that's one of the sacrifices that I made because I don't have the time to grow it basically organically, who does? But so that's what I do with that. And then Paula, my page on Facebook, my like page on Facebook is facebook.com/devoted health. The page name itself is actually devoted to health, but Facebook gave me just devoted health. So that's my like page. Lastly, nope, that's it. Okay, so somebody wanted to know my onboarding, which now I know what that is. Basically, so when I have a new coach sign up, I send them a welcome email. It's got a few points on it. It's got a video of me, so they get to see me right off the bat. And I talk about the 3 different types of coaches that I pretty much add to my team. And it talks about discount coaches, silent coaches, and working coaches. At the end of the video, it tells them that I want an email back describing what type of coach that they're interested in being. And from there, most of the time, they're going to tell you if they want to be a working coach or not, but they don't know about the other options. So change their mind or whatever. I've got my link to my Revelation Fitness team page. I don't even know what else is there. A little bit about me, I think. And then, so when I get the email back saying, I want to be a working coach, I then put them in the team page, announce them in the team page. I will even put some discounts in there, just so that they can see like what we're doing. And when you open up a Revive group, they may want to join it. You never know. So once they email me back, I set up a Getting Started Right call. I am now doing Zoom Getting Started Right calls so they can see me again face to face. We can have that connection right then and there. And they can see my emotion in the business and what we talk about and the important things, and I can see their response, which is good. And in my Getting Started Right call, depending on where they want to go with their business, how much they know about the business, there's normally 3 to 4 things that I always touch base on. One of which is the bigger picture for them. Okay, so I'm asking probing questions about where they want to go with this, what they want to do with it, making sure that I'm completely understanding their situation, because if somebody comes into this like I did where they need money right away, I'm going to steer them a different way than somebody who doesn't need money right away but still wants to work the business. So I always have them think about at the very beginning of the call, do you want to make $500 this week, or do you want to be making $2,000, a week, a year from now? Because those are the 2 avenues that I can take this person down. Not saying that these avenues can't cross. God forbid one week you need extra money. But if somebody says that they're going to be they need to be making $500 a week starting right away, I'm going to lead them a different way than I would lead somebody who is okay right now and wants to build a business to where they're making $2,000 a week doing absolutely nothing. So I always have them think about that so that at the end of the call, we can touch base back on it and they can tell me which avenue they want to go down. And obviously I'm thinking you guys know that $500 a week is sales. The $2,000 a week is your team, building a team. Okay. And then if they come back and they say, okay, I'm here to work the business, I go over 3 things, technically 2.5 things. I really nail in Success Club. Okay, I have a statistic that I got from corporate that I always use. It is coaches who hit Success Club consecutively for 2 years, every single month for 2 years, make 275% more money than somebody who does not. Okay, so that's one of the statistics I throw to them to help them understand that Success Club is huge. I also go into talking about how Success Club is the core of our business and everything else stems from it. So you have your income coming from it, you have your customer base coming from it because you need to be adding new customers every month. You have your free trips from it, you have bonuses, and everything stems from you hitting Success Club. So I talk about that. And I go into telling them, because for me, one of the reasons why I started this business was because there was no quotas, there was no, numbers of parties you had to have, whatever. So it was there was a lot of freedom. And so I always tell them, you don't have to do this. You don't have to hit Success Club. You don't have to add coaches. My job is to tell you what you should be doing, but you don't have to. But in that same sense, if you're here to be a working coach and you want to build a life financially free with Beachbody, you need to make Success Club a non-negotiable in your head. And I give them a background about when I started and what my upline told me, and why that has caused me to be where I am today. Okay, so there's not a month that went by that I have not hit Success Club 5. I think this will be 29 months. So that was a non-negotiable in my head because I knew that is where my income was coming from. If I was constantly hitting Success Club, my business was constantly growing, constantly. So I always nail this into them at first, in the first Getting Started Right call. And then the other thing that I always touch base on is the 3 vital behaviors. That's why I said 2.5, because there's 3 of them in there. And I don't like to give a whole bunch of information at first as new coaches. They get all of that, most of this information in my Revolving Coach training in my team page. But I do touch on these 2 specific things because I believe that doing both of these things day in and day out, you will see success. Like, it's pretty much guaranteed. So I nail into the 3 vital behaviors and tell them, if you do these 3 vital behaviors every single day, or at least 6 days a week and have a day off, you are pretty much guaranteed success. Okay, that's why Beachbody has put them into place. If you're inviting, you're getting your successful points. If you're doing proof that the product works, you're getting traction with new customers because they're seeing what you're doing. If you are reading your personal development on those days that you really don't feel like working, that's going to lift you back up to invite and do your workouts and so on and so forth, which then in turn will grow your business. So I always drill these 2 things into them as we get started. I then tell them that I've added them to the group. I show them and tag them in the Coach Revolving training that we have them go through that, tell them that they need to tag me when they're done with certain lessons, so I know where they are. And normally we will touch base again, either on another Zoom call, on a phone call a week or so later. Okay, I am keeping in contact with them via Facebook message throughout the week to, help them along with their inviting process and, all that good stuff. But as far as speaking directly, it's like a week later to figure out, it gives them time to go through the training and all that stuff. Does that make sense? That's pretty much my onboarding. I have a lot of coaches that come into this that, because it's the way that I've geared my business, that they kind of just do their own thing. And then when I check in, they kind of tell me what's going on. So I do have to keep up on my coaches because they're not the type of coach that just comes to me and says, hey, I need to do this. If I'm not checking in with them, I kind of will miss that, and they'll kind of do it on their own because that's how I was. I only talked to Melanie once a week, and that was just to tell her what was going on. And if I needed something, I kind of was the type of person that just figured it out on my own. But I have a lot of coaches like that too, and I feel like if I'm not keeping in contact with them, things will come up and they'll be like, well, this happened. I'm like, well, you should have told me. I could have called Star Diamond Line for you, like that kind of stuff. So they're very independent coaches and don't like to, ask for a lot of help. But if I'm constantly in contact with them, I can kind of get it out of them and help them out that way. But that's just my team that I've developed. Do I send private invites about the business opportunity? All the time. That's like my number one leading, and most of the time it comes from just creating that, or forming like these new contacts that I had that I'm talking to on a, every other day basis, creating that relationship with them and talking to them. I will somewhere down the line, it will come down to what they do for a living. Are they stay-at-home mom? Whatever. And we start talking about similarities that we have. And, what was it the other day? Somebody was telling me that they have 6 kids and 4 dogs. I'm like, oh my goodness, do you work? And she's like, I first asked her if she was a stay-at-home mom. She said, kind of. I don't know what that means. And then she said she works, but she works 2 jobs. And so, I said, she does something, because we were talking about biblical stuff, and I had mentioned that that my job is awesome because I get to not only witness to people, but I also get to help inspire and help them live a healthy and fulfilling life as a coach, but I get to do it at home. So like I throw in little things that I'm passionate about this business, and eventually down the road, as we start talking more and more and get to build that relationship, I find out more about them. I can then offer them the business opportunity. So I may not actually just send out, hey, you want to join me in this Beachbody opportunity? But I've developed those relationships where they know what I do. And if they say something like, I'm really, we can't go on a vacation this year because we're struggling for money, that's when I will invite to the business opportunity and say, hey, I was there. I understand. This is what's helped me, and invite them that way. So for me, it's a lot more a relationship now with everybody from my like page because they already know that it's biblical based. The people that I have like my page are Christian. Because I've narrowed down my search as far as who I want to be like my page. They're stay-at-home moms. They're working moms. Everything like that's me. is what my like page brings in. Emily says, I feel like you have a very distinct brand and it's easy just to get what you're all about. Did you struggle with finding what makes it different, sets you outside of the noise? Yeah, every day. Is there any advice you have on discovering your personal? So do not take this the wrong way if you're a Christian. I am a Christian, but I feel like a lot of Christians are cheap. Okay, they don't want to spend the money, or they have to talk to their husband, and their husband's cheap. Okay, because I run into a lot that they don't want to spend the $140 on a challenge pack. So I still feel like I'm still developing my brand. I actually just switched my brand a little bit to adrenal failure and adrenal fatigue because I just went through that 8 months. So I know a ton of information on it from going to a clinician about it. So I'm kind of talking more about that, but people still know that I'm a Christian mom. Like, that's still my thing. And that's who you are. So I want you to figure out who you are and not who people tell you that you are, but the things that you enjoy. So I was like trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate knitting and horses, even though I don't ride anymore. So those are the things I'm like, how am I going to incorporate this? Because that's who I am. But those are my hobbies. So yeah, you can have for targeting on your like page, you can put knitting and stuff like that because people like to knit. Because everybody needs to get healthy and fit. Everybody would like to have a financial free. So why not somebody who knits? But that's not who I am. So who I am is an ordinary stay-at-home mom who was sinking in debt. Okay, people can relate to that. Numerous stay-at-home moms sinking in debt. I went to school for psychology and never did anything with it. I was a secretary and then a nanny before I had my first child. So I made very minimum wage, so I can talk about that. I made it so that I talk about how it was a non-negotiable for me to be a stay-at-home mom. So we sacrificed a lot. We still don't have TV. We have Netflix. We don't have heat. I live in New Jersey. We don't have heat. I have a wood-burning stove that my husband splits wood for every year. So we don't have to pay for oil because that's ridiculously expensive. So I've made numerous sacrifices. We don't have air conditioning. We only have window units, and I can only turn it on when it's 90 plus degrees. That's when I'm allowed. So those type of sacrifices I talk about because people can relate to them. How many stay-at-home moms are struggling in the heat with their kids because they can't afford air conditioning? That's important because people are going to relate to you with that. 100%. And then to talk about how Beachbody has helped you be able to turn on that air conditioning, when it hits 80 degrees, not 90 degrees, that little tiny 10-degree jump is going to inspire somebody to say, hey, what are you doing? Because obviously your life is changing. So I find it really hard to find your brand, and it's going to change just like mine did because of my, the things that we go through, like my adrenal fatigue, gaining 35 pounds from working out and eating clean. That's discouraging, but there was a reason why. And I had to come down to, I had parasites, I had bacteria, every organ in my body was in distress from it. And on top of that, my adrenal system completely failed. Any type of stress, I'd get this tingling, whitewashed feeling, and I could literally tell you when I was gaining weight. And at that point, I had to fix everything first before my adrenals would get fixed. So I now can talk about how, if you are struggling with fatigue, even though you sleep 10 hours a day, if you're struggling with stubborn tube-like belly fat around you, it's your cortisol levels. So I can talk about all the symptoms that I've had and help them develop a plan with Beachbody to get around that type of stuff. So that's become somewhat of my brand, tied into the Christian mom aspect of it. Hold on, there's more. Where do I live in New Jersey? I live in a very small town called Long Valley. Do you know where that is? You do? Okay. Yes, that's where I live. So, hey, we can get together. I don't know where you live, but I'm always up for a get-together. Did you go to the New Jersey Super Saturday? Dude, I pass through Clinton all the time. That's where I used to go to Pennsylvania that way for my clinician appointments. Okay, so anyway, side note. The next event that we have for New Jersey is the 3 Better Behaviors training. You should be there. It's going to be awesome. I'm on the New Jersey Market Council, if you can't tell. So when you run a Facebook ad, what do you mean by targeting? All I've seen is age group. And okay, so like I said, this can be a whole new training that I can do if you guys want it. But if you are working on Safari, Mozilla, Fox, or Internet Explorer, it won't work. You actually have to have Chrome. I have Chrome and Safari. But if you go to Google Chrome and you go into Facebook and you go to Ads Manager, there's something which you'll see it on any other browser, it just doesn't work. You'll see something called Power Editor. That is where I do my ads from. Okay, except my page like one. I did that through Safari. But there's like a 2-part fold here. I don't normally boost my posts that I put on my Facebook page unless it's something that has had, so like I just did it 2 days ago, something that has had a lot of views. Like, you know how you get a response from your like page saying, this post is doing 75% better than all your other posts, blah, blah, blah. And this post happened to do like 90% better than all my other posts, and it was about where my life has come from, but offering the coaching opportunity. So I boosted it for $5. I ended up getting somebody that wants to coach. So that was worth it for me, but I don't normally do that. All of my ads are run through Power Editor, and they're specific ads that I do. I suggest doing a lot of videos straight from your phone to your like page because that brings in a lot more people. And, you know, if you need to do a series of things, like I do Monday Munchies on mine, and I do like a 50-second video of my favorite kitchen tips, you know, just something silly like that, and then sponsoring one of those videos. So you get a lot of likes on it, you get people going back to your page, you know, something like that. As far as getting or doing an ad for your likes, you need to have a picture that works. And the only way you're going to know what works is doing a couple pictures of ads. I think you can have up to like 6 for your page like ads. And you want to pick, I think I did 2. And one of them outperforms my other well beyond. It's literally probably the only one that gets all of my likes. Why? I do not know, but that's the one that I run continuously. That's what people are constantly seeing and constantly liking my page for. So as far as targeting in any of the targeting areas, although I use Power Editor, you can actually target your people, and this is kind of scary, so don't be scared, but straight down to how many credit lines they have, okay? If they're a frequent online shopper, you can literally target their behaviors, where they shop online. So Facebook has done a whole bunch of research for you, and it puts people in your hands as far as where you want them to be. So in my head, when I'm talking to somebody from my like page that says they don't have the money, in my head I'm thinking, well, you liked my page because target marketing said that you have 2 lines of credit and that you buy online all the time. I don't say that to them, but that's in my head. So I know that they're going to come back around. So, you know, you target things for your brand. You know, so for me, it would be things like stay-at-home mom or Amazon mom, because I'm a huge Amazon shopper. You know, things that are talking to me, so I could talk about adrenal fatigue. You can literally do this, and it's under behaviors. You can do shopping behaviors. You can do spending behaviors. You could do, you know, pretty much down to what kind of car they drive. I don't know, but it's so simple, and everything's listed for you. Just keep clicking what you want. And that's what I do for, you know, specific posts that I do, and the people that like my page. Okay, well, it looks like I have to do a like page training. Paula, what ad do you want me to share? I do most of it in Power Editor, yes. And Power Editor, they just changed it, so I had to go back in and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't you love it when Facebook changes something and you're like, I'm so used to the old one. But yeah, that's where I do it because it's just a lot easier. And if you use Power Editor, it doesn't show up on your like page as an ad. So it doesn't even show up as a post. So these are things that I'll do. You know, if I want to, so let's use August for an example and the cup. You know, if I wanted to do an ad for the whole month of August for one of the groups that I'm going to be running, that's where I would do it, because on my like page, actual like page, I'm doing jab jabs on there. So I don't want to just plaster a, you know, an ad on there with my jab jabs, because it kind of throws off the jab jabbing. So I will go into Power Editor and I will run it from August 1st to August 28th, you know, and then I will pick how much I want to spend each day, and, you know, go from there, and then just monitor it through Power Editor. And, you know, if you start getting responses on it, you still get notified saying people are starting to respond to your ad set. You can go in and you can click on it and you can see people commented or sent you a message or, you know, whatever, but it doesn't show up on your news feed in your like page. So that's one of the reasons why I like Power Editor. What does my image look like? Let me see if I can find it for you. It's the word faith, and it's all black around it, and the words faith are like lit up. It's like, it's simple. That's how simple it is. I'm gonna try to find it for you while I'm talking, but I can't see you guys, so I can't see the chat. So take yourself off chat if you want to talk to me while I'm looking for this. It's very, very plain. Like I'd have a an ad for my banner. Holy moly. I have an ad for my banner that's on my like page. That doesn't bring in anything. I'm like, whatever. They don't want to see me. They want to see the word faith. But I actually think it's not in Power Editor. Hold on 1 second. Speak up if you have questions, because I can't see you, unfortunately. Nobody has questions? Okay. I'm almost there. Hold on. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Nod. Can you see it? Okay. So here is my page likes. You can see, you know, how many. I don't even think this is the right one. Let's see. 2 active ads. Okay, so I have 2 pictures going. They're under the same thing, so I'm not paying twice for them. It's just one gets more over the other. I have to figure out how to find it. Oh, there they are. So, see, obviously this one gets a lot more. There's a picture down there. See it right here? That's just a picture. That seems to get a lot more people. And they've completely refreshed this, because this is not how much I spent for 5,000 likes. But, you know, so that's it. This is what all it says on the top that gets people's attention. It's very simple. And they just go and like my page. Very simple. Okay. I hope that helps. And like I said, they don't like the one that has my actual image on it. No problem, Paula.
Did you make that image?
No. So something that's pretty cool when you go into the likes, they actually, you can use, they have a little thing that says search images, and they're Shutterstock images. So they're good images, and you can use one of those. So you can use up to 6. I did make my, my cover one, but this one, I just typed in whatever my goal was. I think I typed in faith or something like that, Christian or something like that, and that's one of the ones that came up, and it happened to fit. I had to, like, the part of the T that the light comes out onto the ground, I had to cut that back in the picture, but it's one of the ones that fit, and it was actually my first try. Some of you won't have good luck on your first try. That's why they say to cycle through. So basically what happens is if you pick like 5 pictures, it's going to cycle through the pictures on the ad. So you'll be able to go in like I just did. You can see that I had like 2 ads going. You'll be able to see which picture is performing better. And you can get rid of the other pictures if the one picture is performing better. But it's better to have more of them going than just one and having to redo it if it's not getting any. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. What did you say it's called where you did that?
That's just on my regular like page. I did that from, promote for likes or whatever. That's
okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, I find it better to spend $2 a day. It's worked for me. I know some coaches will tell you that, they do it only certain days that they'll promote for likes and stuff like that. But I've been running mine since December 28th. And it is the most likes that I've gotten that are actually doing something. Back when I first started my like page, I was doing the same thing, but these likes were not targeted specifically enough, but I feel like they weren't real. These people, I'm getting over 1,000 organic views on my posts. I'm getting 30 some likes, comments. So I can see that this is actually working for me. And it's just a matter of finding that one picture that's going to reel in your niche. But a lot of people have the views and the likes, but they're not targeting the people who have the means and the measures, which is why the Power Editor, well, even anywhere, going into the behaviors is where it's good, because you can literally narrow it down to spending methods and how much they put on their credit card and like all of that stuff, because it's important that these people that you're bringing in and speaking to have the means and the measures to become a customer. They are poor and can't afford it. You're talking to a brick wall. They're not gonna invest in something like that, unfortunately. So you want to make sure that you're targeting people who could actually be customers that want help. Okay. Yes, I do get some of my posts get 1,000 organic views. I don't know. Let me see if I can find one. And there are like things like not even Beachbody related that get that. Let me see. I've been talking a lot about the Ultimate Reset results and stuff like that I've done. And that has helped a lot because people have been following that story. Here, this one, it's at 912 views. But this one was most recent. So, like, literally, I didn't write a lot, but I talked about what it's done for me. So, people have seen, I've been talking about how I've gained 35 pounds from working out and eating clean. Now, it's not something that people want to hear if you work out and eat clean and you gain 35 pounds. That's not, our goal. But I talked about what the Ultimate Reset has done for me. And, I talked about before this post that the nail tech said that my nails were extremely healthy, and that's from the Ultimate Reset and getting rid of the parasites and bacteria. So this one, has comments, and it's got 912 people reached. So you can see, like, this was 873. Like, I don't post these. I don't boost any of these. But people are seeing it. This one, went off the charts. As far as comments. This one, organic, right here, 2.4 thousand, 2,400. And look how many comments. People like to put their opinions. This is like, I don't know. I said I'd give up burgers. You can go to my like page and steal this picture if you want. But, it's something that brought more people in. And the people who commented on this most likely had people also commenting on it. So more people were seeing my page. From their friends. So, that's just an example, but, yeah, this is the one that told me that was performing better. So I did boost it for $5. And, you can see, like, I have people who are then interested in talking about it. So, that did help.
Haley.
Yeah.
You share the same stuff that you share on your like page on your personal page.
My what?
Do you share the same stuff on your regular personal page in your like page, or how? I mean, how do you? What do you post on your like page? Is it the same content that you share on your regular page? Does that make sense?
I share more about my kids on my regular page than I do on my like page, unless it's fitness related or I do share the same stuff some days, but at different times. So I will just like if I need a post on my regular page in the afternoon, I'll go to my like page and copy and paste it, and use the same picture and just put it on my regular page, or vice versa, where if I did something in the morning on my regular page, I need something for the afternoon on my like page, I will go copy and paste it. I don't share. I don't share my like page that way, but yeah, I do sometimes post the same things. I may change the words and have the same picture. Just depends on how I'm feeling. And then there are some days where I literally post the same thing on both pages at the same time.
Okay. How do you what kind of content do you share on your like page, like as opposed to your like, is it something specific you follow? Like, for example, on my personal page, I have like the 5 top things that I talk about, and I always share about those. Do you follow like a similar format on your like page?
I don't even do that on my regular page. I'm to the point now in my business where I just share everything. So, my like page is more so has been recently my experience with the Ultimate Reset and my adrenal fatigue or failure and parasites and stuff like that, plus biblical based stuff. So I just added a quote in there the other day about, I don't even remember what it said, but it was just something that I heard on the radio on my way home from Pittsburgh that I just said, oh, that would be a good post just to, throw something biblical in there. Because I know that that's one of the reasons why people are on my page, because I've targeted those. So I suggest whatever you're targeting, if you're targeting moms, if you're targeting Christians, if you're targeting adrenal fatigue, like whatever you're targeting, post about it. You could be targeting 10 different things, post about it, because you're going to talk to somebody in each one of those areas. So my like all over the place. I do talk business on there. I do invite for the business. I talk a lot about what the business has done for me, but that's me. Like I came into this for this. So I'm always telling them about what's going on. And I did a post on my like page the other day talking about somebody else said, Emily said, I posted that I'm on my third 6-hour plus trip in 3 weeks. I posted that on my like page. And I had 2 people say, one person said, I want to know more about what you're doing. And the other person said, wow, that's like amazing. Because I said in the post that I was blessed to be able to do this through Beachbody. And they were shocked that I was going away for 3 weeks, 6 hours apart, like 6 hour, at least 6 hour drives. So just talking about that type of stuff. And I didn't even do a call to action on that, I don't think. I just talked about it. But that was like, oh, hey, what is she doing? I don't have the freedom from my job to be able to travel 6+ hours every week. So just talking about it like that. The more you share, the more you grow. If you are in the sales mindset, you're not going to grow. Trust me. It's the more you share. Paula is really good at sharing.
I don't. You see my page. I don't care. I have no filter. I share everything.
Yep. Paula, she shares her transformation and what she's doing and how she's feeling a lot, and it's why she's got high successful points all the time. It's people are relating to her and her story, her before, her after, and all that good stuff. So don't be afraid to share.
Yeah, and thank you, Kaylee. And you know what? It does. And actually, I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, let's just wait until next week. Thank you. Because I'm at 20 something. So I'm like, no, I need you guys next month. But it's the business part. I have a hard, Sunday night, after there's all this that I want to share and talk about. But posting, I start posting, I'm like, no, delete. And then again, I'm like, I don't know how to take that out of my heart and my mind and put it together. I don't know. I mean, with
I know what you mean, Paula. I'm in the same, like, I have no problems finding challengers. I can tell anybody a challenge pack, but when it comes to the business opportunity, I have a really hard time. And I struggle because that's what I need. I need to be finding coaches. So, that's what I'm looking at your page, Kaylee, and I'm looking to see, what do you share that's different than mine that, that attracts people, because the only thing I've been talking about is the business opportunity, and yet people are still coming to me for challenge packs, not interested in the business. So I'm like,
Anybody that wants to get on a Zoom call in the evenings one night, we can chat about presenting the business opportunity. Paula, I'm going to talk to you because for me, my successful points come from coaches. So if I have 10 successful points, that means I signed 5 coaches. That means I don't have, like, my coaches are my challengers. So for me, I kind of have the opposite effect of, I don't have high successful points. I just signed coaches. So for me, I need to figure out how to attract more challenger-based people, because if I had both of those, it would be perfect. So we can kind of feed off of each other at that point.
Oh, you got it. Well, I have a lot of new coaches, a lot of them, but the thing is, they're all new challengers. So I know they need the time, but I need to attract people that are business oriented.
Right.
Like one of my coaches, like way down there, and these guys, oh my God, and this is proof that you just never know. She signed up her sister and her husband, so her brother-in-law and her sister. She was in Nashville. They live in Nashville. She brought them to the closing night, right? They were already drinking Shakeology, doing the workouts. They had lost a few pounds. So they're hooked on this product. They go to Nashville. They watch everything. They watch the challengers. They watch the $1 million people. They watch the 15 stars. They watch the top coach. They see all in one place live, all of our energy. They came back home. They signed up as coaches. Then this week I see this guy, he's like posting, I'm like, what is he doing? He is in it. Like, the guy is going crazy. So his coach knows nothing about the business, and her coach is just starting, but he is on it. So I'm like, guys, I'm just gonna jump over you. I'm so sorry, but this guy needs attention. This guy needs training. So he's like, and he's one of those that I'm like, what the heck? That's the type of people I need. He's entrepreneurial. He gets it. He's already on it. I mean, one thing, I told him to join the Monday night call, the Dream Team call, and he said, we're out. I can't get it. I said, don't worry. I'll post. Oh, he said, is there a recording? I said, I'll share it with you tomorrow as soon as I see it posted. Yesterday, he posted in our coaches page, in my team, he posted, here's the recording from yesterday. He is in the big. I need those people. But
Yeah,
I'm not leading with the business.
you're in the same situation as me, Paula, because it's the challengers. They come in and they love the products and they have great success stories, but then they are like insecure and they don't want to. They'll sign up as a coach, but they're like, well, I need to work on me first before. And no matter how much you tell them, no, you can totally do this, but they just they're not there. And I don't have the time.
And they're so scared to post about it. Yeah.
Well, we can schedule, I don't want to keep everybody because it's like 10:15, but we can schedule a Zoom call and we can talk.
Let's do that, Kelly, please.
We it's not if we can, we have to. Let's do it. Okay, so you pick a date. I'm good. You tell me what date. I'm fine.
All right.
Whatever.
I have to look at my schedule because I'm just speaking on a whole bunch of team calls coming up. So I'll look at my schedule. I'll post something in that group.
Okay, not tomorrow night.
No.
Other than that, anytime.
Nope. All right. Well,
Okay,
nobody else has anything that they want to talk about. I'll let you guys go.
Thanks, Kelly. This was so helpful.
No problem. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Valentina.